Hi friends, it's Victor Costa, and welcome to Victor Costa Motivation. I hope you're having an outstanding day, and I hope today's podcast makes it even better for you. So it's time to be very, very straightforward, and it's time to be very, very real with you about your rituals on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people come to me with some very, very serious goals. They have some objectives. They want to transform their business. They want to transform their lives. They want to transform their health. They want to transform their bodies. They want to transform their relationships. Yet, the rituals that they have on a daily basis are not commensurate with the objectives that they have for themselves or their goals. So basically, I want to be very, very straightforward about a self-assessment and how we can go about feeling better about being on the right track to get the things that we want immediately. Now, this is a very, very short podcast. It's very quick. It's just a concept and a self-assessment that you can do in your own time very, very quickly. So now, of course, we have the piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. On the right-hand side of the piece of paper are the goal or objectives that you have. The goals or objectives on the right-hand side. And limit one piece of paper per goal, right? So on the right-hand side of the page, I want you to write down your goals. Then on the left-hand side of the page, I want you to be extremely straightforward and honest and real with the objectives and the rituals and the things that you do on a daily basis. And I want you to sit there and stare at that piece of paper until you make the connection, until you are able to legitimately say, these rituals, these things that I do on a day-to-day basis will and make sense and will ultimately lead to the goal on the right-hand side of the page. If the goal is not commensurate with the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, this is the source of a lot of frustration, and this is why sometimes we feel off track, and this is why a lot of times we feel like we're victims of life rather than designing our lives. And it has a lot to do with the things that we do on a daily basis. How do we conduct our day-to-day lives? So let's go through just a very, very quick example. Let's say that you wanted to have a better relationship with your family. When you come home in the evening, it would be a good idea to open the door, greet everyone, potentially hug and kiss everyone, and ask, how was your day? How are you today? I missed you. I thought about you today. There is a congruency between a goal of having a nice, relaxed family life or a nice evening or a better relationship and those behaviors and activities, right? If I consistently come in the house at night, I say to my wife, how are you? I missed you. I love you. How was your day? And I say the same thing to my daughter. There's a good chance that I'm going to foster and develop a stronger relationship. But if I come in huffy and puffy, complaining about my day, focusing on myself, there is a good chance that my relationship is not going to be fortified in any way, shape, or form. So if I were to be honest with myself, on a chronic basis, not on a one-off where you had a really bad day and you want to share a little bit of what happened to you, I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis, what are the rituals and things that you do daily, and what are your objectives, and do they match up? You just have to simply play the match game. So if I come in complainy, cursy, throw my work bag down, talk about myself, what a crappy day, the commute, this and that, this is not developing a relationship. This is not leading up to the end goal of fostering a relationship or a stronger relationship with my family, because I'm chronically cranky. And when I see them, that's how I behave. So I may not have a great relationship, and I may wonder why. But you can go back and reverse engineer everything, and it's quite linear that these things that I would do on a day-to-day basis would not lead to a stronger relationship. Let's talk about the goal of transforming the body physically, transforming the body physically. A weight loss transformation or a physical transformation of some sort is the goal or objective on the right-hand side of the page. And if I were to be honest and put a self-assessment on the left-hand side of the page, I might write, I go drinking with my friends, or I often eat out. I don't plan my meals. I get home too late and I don't exercise and I don't make time for exercise. So, of course, the goal on the right-hand side of the page is not commensurate with those rituals. Now, I'm not telling you this so that you become a super overachiever. All I'm telling you this for is so that you are not frustrated with yourself, that you can simply make the self-assessment and say, okay, I'm not doing the things that lead to the goal. And then there's no mystery. Then you understand yourself. There's no frustration. There's no the world is against me. You simply get a better handle on life when this is happening, when you can make this assessment, and you feel actually much more empowered, even if you're not doing the right things to lead to the goal. At least you know. At least you feel as though the goal isn't eluding you in some way, shape, or form, that you are worthy of the goal. You're just not doing the right things to get to that objective. And that's what this whole thing is about. This isn't about overachieving or having your body transform tomorrow or your relationships transform tomorrow. It's about understanding how those things come about if you want them. And if they are not coming about, you'll simply see that on one hand side of the page, the left side, where your rituals are, that they just don't match up with the right hand side of the page. And that's about as simple as we can get. So we don't have to feel down on ourselves, like the goals are out of our reach, or life is, the goals are elusive, and that we can't get them. We simply just have to take a self-assessment. And when those things that you do on a day-to-day basis match up in a congruent way, weight loss transformation, very simple. I got up early this morning, I walked around the block, or I went jogging, and I had a salad for lunch, and I didn't, have as much food as I normally do. Well, that's interesting, because those rituals on a day-to-day basis will ultimately lead to a transformation of the body. Goal is a better relationship. I came home, I said hello to everyone. I was excited to see everyone and asked them about their day instead of complaining about mine. And I did that on a consistent basis for a month. Now, the amazing things, guys, is that you don't have to do this very long to get into the new rhythm of something. It doesn't take long at all. It just has to take a matchup. And your life is like this. You make an assessment, you take a look at what you're doing, you see if the goal is congruent with your behavior. If it's not, just simply change the behavior, because most people won't change the goal, right? We still want those great things. We still want those amazing things. And it doesn't take much. Just a little self-assessment, a little recognition can go such a long way. And that way, you're not frustrated with yourself. You automatically feel better and more in control. And so, with that, I wish you all the best and good health. Thank you so much for listening to Victor Costa Motivation, and please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.